Another dominant performance from the Chicago Bears, 35-16. They beat the Jaguars in London, and Jacksonville's home. The home that is not home, but it's like a home game for them. They're just in London so much. But offensively, the Bears were stellar again. Other than, the first quarter was a little shaky. They were down 3-0 to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence played well in this game. Just think the receivers really, fumbled the bag for him. A couple drop passes, Gabe Davis, some of the other players. Other than Evan Ingram, who was balling in this game, they really let Trevor Lawrence down in this one. Peterson, he's probably going to get fired, but people want to focus on the teams, the quality of opponents that the Bears are beating, and just be like, the Jaguars. It's the Jags, Of course, Caleb Williams in this offense for the Bears is going to have a good game. Carolina Panthers, of course you're going to beat the Carolina Panthers. We beat the Rams, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, those guys are out of that game. So the expectation is we beat those teams. But you've got to look at it. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We are seeing some of the best teams in the NFL, have these couple games where it's like, oh, it's really close. The Cardinals, they've beat a couple good teams this season. The Rams beat the 49ers without Puka and without Cooper. So some good teams have, lost to really bad teams and teams they should have won. So this year, the Bears are actually beating up on bad teams, and the point differential is crazy. In the NFC North as a whole, it's crazy. But we're blowing these teams out. Carolina, they were coming into that game hot. Offensively, they were playing better. Andy Dalton, that offense was cooking. Against us, nothing. Jacksonville, they beat the Colts. Colts are still a good football team. Joe Flacco, they beat them. Against us, nothing. The Rams, off that 49ers victory, they really couldn't get much going against us. Matthew Stafford, they were driving down the field, but field goals every time. Bend, don't break. That's what we were against them. But now that the offense is cooking like it's cooking, Shane Waldron, play calling has been great. That, screen fake, another screen fake in the same play, that sequence to Cole Kmet, the first touchdown, that was a beautiful play call. Shane Waldron was in his bag. And he's been in his bag, the same way we owe DeAndre Swift an apology, we owe Shane Waldron an apology. He's been making adjustments. He's been cooking since that talk. Caleb Williams, Cole Kmet, Mercedes Lewis were coming at him saying we need to be more aggressive. He's been great. He's been delivering. And offensively, last two games, this is the first time the Bears have had back-to-back 5 touchdown offensive performances since 1956. It's crazy. This offense is just clicking on all cylinders now. Caleb Williams is connecting with guys like Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen finally had a good performance. 50 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, and every time he was targeted, I think the passer rating was, it was like damn near 100%. Completion percentage every time Keenan Allen was targeted. Swift had a good game, 91 yards rushing. Had a nice screen pass again. He's deadly as fucking in the screen game. The run game in the first 3 weeks, 72.7 yards per game rushing. Rush percentage, 35%, 1 rushing touchdown. Now, weeks 4 through 6, the run game, 137 yards per game, 52.2% rush percentage, and 6 rushing touchdowns. So the rush game has been a huge factor in this offense and the success of this offense. Swift going. Roschon Johnson has had a couple touchdowns. So that's just been huge. And, DeAndre Swift was one of the worst running backs, maybe the worst running back in the first couple weeks, and now he's a top 5, top 10 back. In fantasy, he's probably top 3, top 5. But yeah, just the impact he's making in the receiving game, in the rushing game as well. He's been showing up big. 3 straight consecutive weeks with great performances. I think he's first in the NFL in scrimmage yards or total scrimmage yards. He's first in the NFL in receiving yards for a running back. But yeah, he's just been really elite so far. And Caleb Williams, the growth, it continues. Every week he's getting better. And I like when he did the inject in my veins celebration. The confidence is there. The swagger. Every time there's a big play, he makes a big play. He's celebrating. He's ecstatic. I just love what I'm seeing from him so far. The confidence has just been there. And if you look at his numbers, I've been seeing some stats on Twitter. His numbers compared to Patrick Mahomes, the great comparison for him coming out of the draft. Patrick Mahomes this season, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,200 yards passing, 8.89 passer rating. Caleb Williams this season, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,300 yards, 88.7 rating. So his numbers are better than Patrick Mahomes right now. That's kind of crazy. Patrick Mahomes had a bye week. Caleb Williams had an extra game, but Patrick Mahomes had the head start because he was playing a little better than Caleb Williams in those first couple weeks. But yeah, the growth has been there. I mean, Caleb Williams since week 3, 9 passing touchdowns, 4th in the NFL among quarterbacks. Passer rating for Caleb Williams since week 3, 106.4, 5th in the NFL. Completion percentage, 69.9, 6th in the NFL. Pass yards, 1,050, 7th in the NFL. So he's been among top 10 in every category among quarterbacks in the league right now. Jaden Daniels, he's playing at a high level, but Caleb Williams, yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there, and he's had to overcome more than Jaden Daniels. And as a passer, some of the stuff Caleb Williams is doing, the arm talent, the accuracy, controlling the offense, I think he does that better than Jaden Daniels. I know he has more weapons. I know Caleb Williams has more weapons around him, but the offense is flowing now. I think at the end of the season, Caleb Williams will have better numbers as a passer than Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels will probably just have him beat in the completion percentage, and maybe in terms of just being a little more accurate with the dink and dunks that they do in the offense. It's a little more simpler over there. I think he'll have him beat in some of that stuff, but passing touchdowns and passing yards, I think Caleb Williams will have him beat at the end of the season. And with escapability, Caleb Williams is there. I mean, 50 yards rushing in this game. A couple of the plays he had just escaping pressure. He looked like Justin Fields. And just a little smoother, sliding down instead of running for an amazing touchdown. He's smart. He doesn't want to run first, but he can make those plays when needed, and he showed that in this game against the Jaguars. And that helps because our offense line, they're not an elite group. They've been playing a lot better lately, but when there is time where there is pressure, Caleb Williams, he's escaping it. That throw to Cole Kmet was amazing. So just some of these plays, he's showing it all. These last couple games, Caleb Williams is showing the arm talent, the athleticism, the creativity, the decision-making, the short to intermediate accuracy. He's showing it all. Everything we've wanted to see from a Bears quarterback, he's given us that. And 4 passing touchdowns in London, I mean, he's breaking records for a quarterback in an international game. So yeah, everything I'm seeing from Caleb Williams, I'm loving. The best quarterback the Bears have ever had. He's going to break records, and the offense is getting more comfortable. Everybody's succeeding a lot more now. Swift is playing at a high level. Keenan Allen, I think he's going to get going and have another big performance. DJ Moore. Like the weapons we have, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet. That was a huge Cole Kmet game. 70 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. So everybody in this offense is showing us what we expected to see. We expected this offense to be a prolific offense, an offense that can compete with the Mark Trestman's offense, the 2018 offense. And I think, honestly, this feels better than 2018 because we actually have a quarterback to go along with an elite defense and some good weapons, some good pieces on the offensive side of the ball. So the offensive line is playing better. Matt Pryor, Tevin Jenkins, they were mauling dudes. Darnell Wright played well. I liked what I saw from our offensive line. Tevin Jenkins, he saw Bill Murray was playing well. He said, "I'm pussy." he had to up his game. And I like what I saw from Tevin Jenkins in this game. More aggressive. He threw a guy to the ground. So that's the Tevin Jenkins I love to see. So offensive line played well. Offensively, everybody played well. I mean, 95 points in the last 3 games. It's just been great to see an offense perform like this. And we are better than we were 2018 on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, we have a quarterback, and I think the play calling might be better. The weapons are better. Offensive line, I don't know about that one. But yeah, this offense, 35 points a game, damn near these last couple of games. So, and having a defense that hasn't given up 21 points or more in the last 12, 13 games. Yeah, we're legit. We're a legit team. Like what I see from this team. We're going to use this bye week to get healthier. We got to win the bye week. Brisker, Gordon was banged up in this game. Tyreek Stevenson, Jake Martin's coming back, Ryan Bates. So guys are getting healthier for the big week we have against the Commanders next week. So yeah, this team heading in the right direction. Eberflus gets his first, 3-game winning streak of his tenure with the Bears. So yeah, things are trending in the right direction. And defensively, man, credit to this defense. They've been elite all season, but with Brisker out, Stevenson out, Kyler Gordon, left this game with a hamstring injury. The secondary is just Byard and Jalen Johnson. Jalen Jones stepped up. He had 10 tackles. Josh Blackwell had an interception. TJ Edwards had a nice play where he punched the ball out. Nice turnover. We have 4 sacks. Solid against the run. I think we only gave up like 68 yards rushing in total. And Tank Bigsby was playing well. Coming into this game, had a good performance. I think against the Colts, he had 100 yards rushing, so he's been effective, and we stopped the run in this game, so happy about that. Defense looked great with all the players we had missing. Guys like TJ Edwards are stepping up. The leadership is there on this defense. Kevin Byard, that is a very underrated signing, and we're seeing it come into fruition with how he's played. He's been one of the highest graded safeties in the NFL. He's continuing to play at a high level still, and just his presence as a leader, a veteran in that secondary, it's been huge. And Jalen Johnson, nobody's throwing it to his side. Nobody wants to, force anything over there because they know he's going to get an interception. 2 interceptions so far this season. He's been playing at all pro level again. So really excited about this team. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.